Hello and welcome to another video. Now today is a very special video because I actually bought a ticket for the Tower of Nero tour. Yes, I actually said I wasn't going, but I was weak and I got a ticket. I'm actually going to the event tonight, October 9th, at Politics and Prose, and I think the mediator is Ukulele, and I am beyond excited for it to start. Literally the only downside to this is that it starts at 6 p.m. in the US, which means that over here it starts at midnight, and as you may or may not know, I'm not very good at staying awake late, but I will try my hardest to stay awake the whole hour. Obviously, I'm not gonna throw away the money I paid for my ticket. I am so prepared that I even baked some blue chocolate chip cookies. Yes, they actually turned out a little green, which seems to be a trend with me baking blue chocolate chip cookies. So I am so excited because when I bought the ticket, I actually got the opportunity to type in a question I wanted them to ask Rick Riordan, and here's hoping that he actually answers it. So after the book tour, I will let you know if he answers my question. I think I might die if he actually answers it. There's a high probability that he won't, but I hope he does. Okay guys, so it's the morning after. I made it through the night. It was around an hour and a half long. I was falling asleep by the end of it because it was 1:30, but I pulled through, and oh my god, do I have something to share with you guys. So they talked about a bunch of things, so I had to take notes because I wanted to report to you guys everything important that they shared. So first, and probably what you want to hear about the most, is the movie and TV series adaptations. And
at the same time, we have been dealing with Netflix to bring the Kane Chronicles there as live-action feature films.
They confirmed that each book of the Percy Jackson in the Olympian series would be adapted into one season. If all goes well, all 5 books would mean 5 seasons, and I'm just so happy. I couldn't have thought of a better way to do it, and I'm just so excited. I cannot wait for the first trailer to drop because I will cry. And they also confirmed that there's a team of scriptwriters that are going to be working on it, plus Rick and his wife Becky, so it's nice that they're going to be supervising it, but they're not the only ones since they don't have previous experience as scriptwriters. And for those of you who just want 100% accurate and exactly the same as the book adaptation, they said that's probably not going to be the case. No, they said it's actually not going to be the case because it's impossible for everything to adapt nicely, and so therefore we can expect some flexibility and some small changes, but don't worry, he said the core of Percy Jackson would still be there. And one of their priorities is making it fresh and available to new viewers and people who haven't experienced Percy Jackson before. I, for once, am very excited to see those changes because it means new additions to the Percy Jackson canon. There haven't been that many since the first 5 books came out, so I'm just so excited to get new content from my favorite book series of all time. There was also a question asking Rick if he would want to cameo in the Percy Jackson series or the Netflix adaptation of the Kane Chronicles. And
Becky and I have talked about this, and she has some ideas about, where I could sort of crop up and just be kind of a funny extra.
And he said he would be willing to do it. Since Stanley can do it, then he can probably do it. But he didn't have any character in mind. And please let me know down in the comments who you would love to see Rick cameo as in either of the series, because there's so many great possibilities. Okay, now I actually made a video about this, and it's probable future standalones. and oh my god, they talked about so many possibilities.
I think I like the idea right now of writing standalone novels just because it allows me to pivot from one thing to another more quickly.
One of the most obvious ones is the Celtic mythology one, since Rick just got a master's degree in Celtic mythology, so it's pretty obvious he wants to use that for something, and he says it'll probably be a children's book and probably a standalone instead of a series. They also talked about the possibility of a Magnus J standalone, and he mentioned that Alex Fierro was one of his favorite characters, so I am so excited. Imagining a standalone with Magnus and Alex, and we get to explore their relationships since it wasn't really that explored in the last book, and oh my god, I thank you, Rick. You just know what I want in a book before I even ask for it. He answered my question about the Percy Jackson standalones and who they would follow, and he mentioned wanting to write a standalone following Percy, and I made a whole video about this, about who he might follow for the next book. I didn't even allow myself to dream that we would get Percy's point of view again, and that would just make me so happy. If we get a Percy Jackson standalone, I would cry, and I would be happy doing so. Nevertheless, I still stand by that we deserve an Annabeth-centric standalone. So, Rick, if you're watching this video, get on it, please. That's basically it for standalones, and then they really talked a lot about Rick Riordan Presents, and he explained how it's so important for there to be more diversity in books, but especially written by own voices authors, and I thought that was so cool, and the imprint is really amazing, so please go check it out if you haven't yet. Also, fun fact, basically at the very beginning of the book tour, Rick confirmed that Solangelo, so Will and Nick, don't have that much of a height difference. Based on this art piece by Veria herself, he said he doesn't know why there's so much height difference, but it's not canon, you guys. So there you go, you heard it here first. Also, just to end this video with a fun fact, for those of you who have read Dragon Pearl, there's actually a very real possibility that it's getting a sequel, but not centric on the same main character. This time it would follow a non-binary tiger spirit. So excited for it to come out. That's it. That's all the important stuff. That's probably all you want to know. Stuff about the adaptations and stuff about the possible standalones in the future. So I hope you liked it. I really had a fun time during the book tour, and I hope I can go to another one in the future. It would be better if I actually got to go in person. Fingers crossed that I might be able to do that in the future. Please leave a like if you like this video, comment, subscribe, do whatever you want, and as always, see you guys next time. Bye!